Hey guys, Buffer Game back today, and this is World War III, the veteran alpha going on here. So you can see, first off, we're just going to run through some of the changes here with the menu, jump into a little bit of gameplay that I was able to get. I had a scheduled gameplay session with the developers for last night, which unfortunately I wasn't able to make. This just happens to be one of those crazy weekends. So I'm just going to spit this video out quick. I'll hopefully be able to cover this a little bit more at the end of the weekend before the veteran alpha closes on the 4th. But jumping right into it here. Here's the menu overhaul. So you can see the whole menu looks so different. We have quick play, custom play, your career where you can look at your stats, your rank, your progression. You can see here battle pass for additional content. So that confirms that they're going to have a battle pass and a shop as well for different cosmetics and items like that. Now, customize here, this tab shows you there's 317 new items available. This is based on what you unlock. So based on what's there. Now, when I jumped in, I believe it was 300. So we have 317 now that I was able to play one game. So here's the customization screens now. We can first off start with the identification. And here you can make your own player card. So we have the player banner, which you can choose from different amounts here. Obviously, when this moves into beta and release, there's going to be more options here. These are just kind of placeholders for now, obviously. But you can see the ones that we have here. I'm going to go with background 7 because that one looks really cool. Then you have different emblems you can choose from, as well as different flag icons. So I obviously just put United States there on my banner just because I'm from the States. So there we have our nice player banner and icons there. Now if we go back further, we have things like equipment, strikes, and your character. So first let's just start with strikes, then we'll move into the character, and then the weapons we'll go over. Then I'll talk about some of the gameplay. So with the strikes, again, these are based on basically point systems. So you can see you get battle points here. And you can see we have a good amount here that I have some unlocked and then some that are still to come. So we have armor, which you call in a tank. You have the technical, which is kind of this unmanned vehicle. You have support for an IFV. The blast, you're going to launch basically this drone rocket strike. We have impact. And then we have remote, another remote helicopter. We have more tanks, technicals, different support options. So these obviously aren't the full names, but you can see what they're going to come with here with the different vehicles. You have a different amounts here. These are basically they have a string of support, I believe is how this is working. So you can see each option. You have a UAV, you have the Stormbreaker here, and then you have the helicopter drone as well. So you get 3 different battle streaks with these different ones. So support, for example, is going to give us the Flying Eye for a UAV, JDAM, and then the Wolverine IFV. Technical is going to give us the Reaper. We're going to get the Missile Strike as well as the unmanned IFV. And then we have things like armored again, and going to give us the Flying Eye, the explosive, high explosive being a mortar strike, as well as the Leo being the armored tank. So that's how the support streaks work, kind of via battle points. I was only able to call in a few of these, but they are very helpful. Jumping into character customization. So this is really new here. You can see how awesome this looks. They changed the background. Everything about the menu and the user interface is completely new. So you have 3 different character slots here in the Veteran Alpha. We have character slot 1, which is kind of just a Polish soldier at base. And we have character slot 2. This seems to be more of a United States soldier, obviously. You can see the flag there on his left-hand shoulder and the symbols. And then we have a Russian soldier here, which also looks awesome. So you can basically customize everything about your character. So if we go to slot 1, I'll just go into the customization options. And all these are based on unlocks. So we have the bare face option. You can see here, you can change your skin color, your different face type. I can go back, different helmets. So we can have Spetsnaz helmets, or we can have different options here as you unlock them, and you should be able to view what these look like. Unfortunately, you can't. I wish you could. You can't see what they look like prior to unlocking, but you can select these. Again, just by playing, you're going to unlock, and you can see here that these will be available. I think the rest of these are going to be locked for the beta until the beta, but you can see just some of these options. Neck warmer, so we have a few different options that I was able to unlock here as well. You have the glasses with the bare face, which looks also really cool. You have the balaclava there, with the open mouth and eyes. Facial features, different gloves on here, so you can see the glove options. And you can hover over them just to see what they're going to look like. Then you have the jacket. So the jacket, you can also change the color schema on all of these as well, based on what you have unlocked. So we have the Right now I'm running the Polish Special Forces, we have Russian, and then the US. So it's only the ones that are going to be unlocked here for the open alpha. You can see you have different country uniforms here as well. JPC vest only, you have SAS uniforms, Special Forces out of Polish Grom, or Groom I should say, and a bunch of other options here, US Army vest. Then we'll have the body paints, you can run tattoos, or different types of tattoos on here, Reaper, things like that. Jump down to pants, again, same thing, change the color, different pants, all that stuff. We also have personal, where we can edit the symbols on our shoulders, different flags, what we're saying here, good guy. We can probably have zero Fox given, as well as hold my beer, which is also really cool. So a lot of nice personalization. You can customize your voice there as well. So this option, I really like what they did with this. You can really, I guess, you can really relate to your character and customize them the way you want. Start at a base. It's just much more simpler than how it used to be in the previous version of World War III. Now, if we go back again, we're going to have the go to the weapons. So let's take a look at the different weapons that are available here. So if we run to equipment, first off, you can see these different, I guess, base class setups here are unlocked. So first off, we start with Light Assault, which is going to give us the base for the M4A1. We'll have the Anti-Tank, which you start with the PP-19 Vitязь. This is basically obviously your anti-tank. You have an RPG-7 as well. Support, which is one of the main ones I was using. You have the UKM LMG, which is 7.62 by 51 NATO. Then you have the Marksman, which I unlocked via plane, which is, we have an awesome looking HK417 there. Again, this is a designated marksman rifle firing 7.62 by 51. We have Sniper setup here with the G29. Close quarters with the Vepr 12. We also have Heavy Assault with the Alpha AK. We have the Anti-Air, which again, you're going to get a PP-19 Vitязь there. And then the convertible, we have this SA-80, or the what looks like the L85A3 based on the handguard. We have a bullpup. We have the MSBSB with a Sig Sauer MPX for a secondary. We have the puncture, which again G29, and then we have this anti-material, and we have the M200 intervention there, the Chi-Tech intervention, which is really cool to see. I don't believe that was in the base game originally. So let's just look at some of these weapons quick. We'll run through these. You can see different, and then we'll look at the customization. So the different weapons, assault rifles that are available, and you should be able to unlock all of these in the Veterans Alpha. So the G36, we also have the Israeli Alpha AK, or Alpha as it's called. We have the Barrel 7.62, again, basically updated AKM. We have the H&K 416, which came over from the base, or the original version of World War III. Then we have the MSBSB, and this bad boy fires 300 Blackout, which looks really nice. So that's a really cool looking weapon. I think this is a new addition to World War III as well. And you can see all the weapon stats there. You have information here about the weapon itself, bullpup variant of the Polish MSBS, chambered in 300 Blackout. So it gives you a description of these weapons here as well. So if we were to hover over something like the Alpha AK, you can see the Israeli experimental development of the AK platform, chambered in 7.62 by 39. It's going to give you that little bit of a description, which is really cool. Looking at battle rifles, the only one available here is the HK417 for the Veterans Alpha. LMGs, we have the UKM, as well as the SA-80. And then for the sniper rifles, we have the G29, as well as the Chi-Tech intervention, or the M200. And then shotguns, we have the Vepr 12, and we have the MCS. And then for sidearms, we're going to have the Glock 17 and the Ra gun. And then we're going to have for our specials the RPG-7, and then we have our lock-on, which is the PPZR as well. And then SMGs, we have the Vitязь, the PP-19 Vitязь there. This is essentially the upgraded version, or the successor of the PP-19 Bison, a much superior weapon to the Bison. And then we have the SIG MPX here. So this is firing 9x19 Parabellum, or actually I was wrong. It's actually firing 40 Smith & Wesson, but it can be chambered in 9x19 as well. But 40 Smith & Wesson for the MPX versus its assault rifle variant, the MCX. So those are all of the weapons that are available. Now if we jump into the customization, so I can customize, you have the shop option, and then customization after I pick my weapon. So this is again much simpler than how it used to be in the original version of World War III. We have the holographic sights here. So I can see what levels I'm going to unlock these other ones. We have just a standard EOTech here. You can see these different options as you progress through. Level 19, I'll unlock the B30 red dot, The DI-30 is at level 21, and you can see these all the way down. You also have different options here. We have the carrying handle iron sight optics. We have just standard flip-up iron sights. We have zoomed medium magnification, so we can see these different options here. We have our Alcan and some other, we have an ACOG there, as well as some other options. And then specials, we have the thermal optics. So you can see those are going to give you a description, pros and cons. Just like in Modern Warfare, we have the 4x magnification, thermal vision, cons being increased ADS and obstruction. And you can see if we look at any of these, you can see all the pros and cons. So like our hollow sight displays a sight picture, which is extremely helpful in this game because you do have recoil. And then the increased ADS time, you can see it's going to give you a percentage there, 10%. It's going to slow down your ADS time is the con for this, just by having an optic on there. So that's the optic options, and you can see it's just broken down. Secondary sights, we can have secondary canted mounted sights here. We can either have irons or we can have optic sights, which is really cool on the 45-degree mount. Under barrel attachments, we're going to have things like the vertical foregrips, again, level 4, that's going to be unlocked for the M4, the monster grip. We also have the UKM, so this is going to be that cannon-mounted Zeneco RK2 mount there, I believe, at the 45-degree angle. We have the Juno grip, which is really cool, and looks like that Haley strategic grip, and then we have the monster grip here. So just a bunch of different grip options for the lowers. Magazine styles, we have different options here, AR-15. We have drum mags, so this is going to be increased to 50 rounds here, with a skeleton-style drum. So you can see the increased capacity, the additional starting ammo, and then all your cons there. So they do a really good job of listing this out, and I really enjoy just how thorough this is. The stats look really great on all of this. Secondary ammo is here, so you can have full metal jackets, HP rounds for armor penetration, and armor penetration here, and then obviously HP. I forgot what HP stands for, actually, but you can see increased damage to unarmored targets and additional magazine of hollow point. It's hollow point round. So you can see the round, how it looks there. It's going to show you on the right-hand side by the weapon, as well as here with the armor penetrator is going to be yellow tip. So really, really good attention to detail here. Now on the side, we can have mounts like lasers. We have a PEC 15 here on the right-hand mount, and unfortunately, we can't pick which side rail we want it on. At least I don't think so, as per this. But you can see that's really, really cool looking as well. We have different barrel options here, so you can see standard barrel, compact barrels, marksman barrels, and you can just see how it's going to change the handguard as well with some of these as well. Like this M4 MWM barrel looks crazy. This is going to be integrally suppressed barrel. Looks really cool, actually. You have that hexagonal pattern there. So you can see this is just going to change up everything versus how it was in the original version of World War III. Was a lot different. And you have your muzzle devices here. Obviously, we have like the QD suppressor, different brakes, compensators, things like that. So you can get really in depth with it. Same with the pistols. You have primary gadgets being, you can med pack, equipment pack, ammo pack, and armor packs. And then you have different grenades. You can see all these grenades, anti-tank mines, C4, anti-tank grenades, Semtex, and the RGO impacts. And then we have default for the backpack here. You can carry different things. So here we're having the primary sight, backpack, custom backpack. So I'm actually not really sure what this is. This is what different attachments. So these are different attachments you're going to be carrying in your backpack to quick swap to, I believe is what that is. So you can quick swap for different weapons on this with that new in-game option, which I played around with a little bit. I still need to get more time on there. You can see armor plates, head armor. You can choose your different armor types here. So we have the chromatic armor plate. We want the steel armor plate, but that's not unlocked yet. Versus Kevlar, then we have head armor. Again, same, just choosing different armor in order to absorb bullets, because this is a hardcore tactical shooter. Basically, 1 or 2 shots, especially in unarmored areas, is going to kill you. So that's really neat. Now, really quick, I just want to show off the UKM. I think is a really cool looking gun. Again, this is basically the PKM, just chambered in 7.62 by 51 NATO. So you can see here, I threw a hollow sight on here. We have the bipod. We have the soft belt pouch versus a hard belt pouch, as well as we have just a standard barrel and the default muzzle device on there as well. So you can see my next unlocks are listed. I can view all. I can also toggle to show different parts or not, and it's going to break it up like that. And then I can showcase the weapon here as well with the UKM. So it's going to give me a nice little preview of this, and you can see it looks really, really good. Going to give us that 360 degree view. This is essentially just the UKM basically a modernized PKM chambered in 7.62 by 51 NATO rounds instead of the 7.62 by 54 LR. So you can see there, really neat looking weapon, very good attention to detail as well. So it's just it's really cool how you're allowed to really get in depth with your weapons. Now, backing out once more, we'll go back to the default section here. Now, the gameplay I played, I'm going to just show that on screen now, is my very first game. I was only able to play one game because of just, like I said, it's one of those busy weekends, but the changes they made to the gameplay are really, really noticeable, and I think it's a very good change. You have things like tactical sprint, you can slide, the movement feels a lot better, and I think the game overall just plays a lot better. It was a lot of fun just to get into a full game. I think we had 40 players 40 or 40 in the match. So when I bought this game originally, the game was kind of dead at the time there. I was lucky to be able to find a game with other players. So it's good to get in and play this game. And you're starting here with iron sights. I wasn't able to unlock any sights, obviously, but it's still, I guess it's humbling to play because you have recoil on the weapons. This game itself really feels like a mix of Battlefield and Sandstorm. Basically Sandstorm on a large scale, Battlefield type scaled game. So you can see the weapons will have a lot of recoil, especially this machine gun. I tried out the M4 and the UKM. The LMG had a lot of recoil. However, if you can hit a few shots there, you're going to kill somebody. So it really just depends on the range and things like that. I was able to unlock the grip or the holographic and the bipod and things like that after the match. I had a decent game. I think I had 14 kills. Just trying to play out on the new map, and some of the map changes they made are actually really, really cool. The map itself, maybe it's just because previously when I played this, there was no players, so I didn't explore the whole map, or they had me on a different version of the game type. But this map in general has a lot of different areas. It has a lot of areas in the open, a lot of close quarters areas, as well as it has like this mall type area that you can fight in too for the B1s and B2 flags. Takes place in a mall, essentially, is what it is. And it's a lot of, you have some verticality for your firefights, as well as close quarters, long quarters, because you're firing down corridors as well. So there's a lot of different mixes of combat here that makes this game a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing this, and like I said, I had a play session scheduled with the developers. However, I just was not, due to scheduling purposes, I wasn't able to make that play session, but I was invited to that. And I just have to say, like, the changes to this game are amazing. I'm really excited to play this when it comes out. I really want to get more hands-on time with this game because I had a lot of fun just playing the one game that I did. And I think, especially if this thing releases for consoles in 2022, this is going to be a really good game. The changes they made here, especially, I mean, just look at the user interface for the customization screen before you even get into a game. Everything they made there, they simplified it. They made it much more user-friendly, and it's just a lot of fun to go in, play with your weapons, play with your soldier, and customize them, and check out different gears, what you're unlocking. I think they did a really good job overhauling the entire UI, and then the gameplay changes just make this game feel right. You can do, like I said, the tactical sprints. All of that just makes everything feel how it should. And they added all this over the course of this past year and a half, where they've been working on this to revamp the entire game. So I'm really enjoying these changes. The gameplay, like I said, felt much more natural, and definitely feels like a mix of Sandstorm within Battlefield. And I think this can stand on its own separate from Battlefield. A lot of people are going to be saying it's very similar to Battlefield or similar to Insurgency. So really, what's the point? But I think this game can stand on its own easily, especially if it's going to be coming out in 2022. You're going to have Battlefield's already been released, Sandstorm's been out, and this game could definitely have its place in the spotlight, because if they also release it for consoles, I think you look at the success that we're seeing with Sandstorm on consoles right now. Console players are desperate for shooters like this that are more hardcore tactical type shooters. And the game mechanics in this, you have leaning, sliding, tactical sprints. All of this is really one of those complicated games where you're not going to have players that are like your typical COD player. It's going to be rushing in and bunny hopping and slide canceling. This is a much more slow-paced tactical shooter for the most part, although it is on a larger scale. But when you get in these urban environments, I mean, you'll see in the gameplay, I get shot once or twice and you're done, especially if those rounds don't hit your plates. You're not going to be covered. So it's not like in some games, like if we look at Call of Duty Warzone, for example, when you have plates on, your whole body is essentially absorbs the damage of what the plate would take. And then after the plates are off, then your body takes damage. In this game, if the round doesn't hit the plate, it's not protecting you. So if you get somebody in the neck or thorax and right above the plate, that's going to drop them pretty quick. So it's very, very good attention to detail. And when you do die, you can see where the rounds hit and if they went through the plates, if they had armor penetration, or if they missed the plates. It tells you what kind of ammo the enemy was using. So the attention to detail is really good here. I think this game is a lot of fun. I'm really excited, like I said, to get more hands-on time with this, especially when it goes into beta and then release. Especially, it looks like they have a shop and a battle pass planned. So I think they're doing all the right things with this game. And this is one of those games that, this is really the sole reason I bought a PC to begin with. Prior to streaming, I wanted to buy a PC just to play this game. And I think now being able to get hands-on time with it with a player base that's playing, because when I did buy it, it was kind of dead. But being able to play it now, totally worth it. I would recommend, if you guys are wanting to play this game when it does come out, if it's not coming out for console, maybe get a PC that's able to run this if you're interested, because it is a lot of fun. And like I said, I think a lot of the changes they made are great for this game, and it's going to have a good life cycle on its own, separate from Battlefield and Sandstorm. This game has its own legs and can stand on its own, and I'm excited to see what they do with this, especially what other weapons are going to be adding, what other customization options, and the new map overhauls like they've been doing with some of these maps. They've shut off some trailers with the map overhauls, new maps that they're going to be adding. I think this game is going to have a really good life cycle, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So let me know down below what you guys think of this game, World War III. I'm unfortunately not able to bring you a lot of gameplay for this yet. Hopefully I'll get some more time to get some hands-on the tail end of this weekend. But the one or two games I was able to play was a blast. A lot of good teamwork, spawning on players that you're able to spawn on your squad, and you're able to see what's going on, where they are, select your different spawn points. This game, I think they've done everything perfectly. It's just a matter of releasing it at the right time, so everyone's aware that this game is out and it gets the attention it deserves. This is an indie shooter, and it's right up there on par with AAA shooters, in my opinion. It's a great game. Let me know what you guys think down below. This is Buffner Gaming with World War III Veteran Alpha. Till next time, Buffner Gaming, out.